the local Municipal Systems Amendment Bill has been signed into law by President Cyril Ramaphosa. So it essentially prohibits municipal workers and senior managers from holding political office. Municipalities are now also required to maintain a record of any disciplinary proceedings against staff dismissed for misconduct, which will be handed over to the Cooperative Governance Minister. For more on this story and for this incredible development, we're joined now by the SA Local Government Association's Chief of Operations. That's Lance Joel. He joins us via our video link this morning. Lance, it's great to talk to you on what's being touted as a very important move and really an admission by President Cyril Ramaphosa that cadre deployment just doesn't work and has devastating circumstances.
Well, good morning, Michelle, and thank you very much for having us. Indeed, an exciting moment for local government itself, an opportunity for us to really move towards professionalizing local government, particularly within the administration. And of course, as you are indicating, the President has indeed now signed off this act. The effective date is still to be determined, but we are certainly excited about the opportunities, largely positive, that will emerge from this particular act.
Oh, so that's a bit disheartening, isn't it? Because my next question to you would have been, wow, it's taken the President a while to make such an important move, but now you say you don't know when it comes into effect.
Well, essentially that date could be determined any time now. The act has been assented to. It has been gazetted. The only outstanding issue is the effective date, and that is something that could be sorted out quite simply. I should, however, indicate, Michelle, that this particular act is a replacement of a 2011 act. So there were intentions as far back as 2011 to introduce this. However, it was limited to your senior managers and did not include other staff members. But, of course, the experiences that we've picked up over the last 11 years have now pushed us towards extending this limitation to all municipal staff. So, a positive development, yes, and it took some time.
Yeah. Lance, I want to ask you, how it's going to work. So, this new law prevents top officials from holding political office in parties, right? Will it be applied retrospectively? So for those top officials who are already in those positions as deployees of the ANC, what happens in that situation?
Well, Michelle, firstly, the Act will not be applied retrospectively. It is quite clear in its wording that it will only be applied going forward. And those individuals that are affected through a number of not only the political rights limitations, but also other sections of the Act, they have a year within which they would have to then make an election. Do they retain their political positions and therefore resign as municipal staff members, or they retain their positions as municipal staff members and resign from their political office positions? So 1 year has been allocated for that.
Right. The presidency spokesperson, Vincent Magwenya, we've been talking about this being an admission of a failure of cadre deployment. Vincent Magwenya, in a statement regarding this issue, actually just making it that much clearer. He says the new legislation will improve the performance of local government, it will prevent the abuse of public resources, and it will stamp out errant officials who move from municipality to municipality even after being found guilty of wrongdoing. I mean, it's an admission that the people who are in these positions, who are deployed by the African National Congress, are the kinds of people that Magwenya talks about in his statement.
Well, Michelle, I think that as SALGA, we wholeheartedly agree with those statements. It is unfortunate that indeed that many of the ills that we have seen within the local government space, but perhaps also at national and provincial government level, has been influenced by not distinguishing political office from the administration. And that was a big contributor towards many of the difficulties that we find within our municipalities. So this act, what it does in the main, it really regulates the administration and really puts us towards a position where we can clearly distinguish between the administration and the political arm within a municipality. Of course, we would want to see this further extended to your staff members at both national and provincial level. But at the local government level, a move in the right direction, and indeed a move that will start mitigating against the risks of the wrongs that we see within our municipal spaces. So wholeheartedly agree with that statement. But time will tell as we get about to implement this legislation and see indeed if it is responsive to the needs and assisting municipalities to deliver on their constitutional mandates.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, is this a start, as you say? Will we see this kind of legislation deployed at provincial, even national level? Do you reckon this is a way into that door?
Well, certainly. I think we should not only try and deal with issues within local government itself, because a state is made up of national, provincial, and local government. Let's not only introduce those limitations that likewise apply at the other two spheres of government to local government. Let's indeed go about amending the legislation to ensure that the same would apply so that we can really, truly, as I said earlier, professionalize the administration within government holistically, but also deal with the difficulties and point that you've made earlier. A person does wrong in one municipality and just jumps to another municipality, or a person does wrong in one sphere of government, local government, and they just move to provincial or national government. So those are the issues that we need to try and mitigate against.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in effect, this law now directs any staff member of any municipality who's been dismissed for misconduct that they may be redeployed in a municipality only after a period of 5 years. But yeah, the analysis in the morning newspapers this morning, Lance, talking about this kind of catered deployment as a long-term criminal program, exactly what you've just said and exactly what Vincent Magwenya himself has stated in response to this law, that people who are found guilty of misconduct in one municipality have found it in the past very easy to move just to another municipality, to another position in local government.
Well, Michelle, I think we must draw a distinction. We must not generalize and call every single person that is employed within the state as a person that is deployed to the state. I think there are people that, based on the qualifications, experience, and skills, indeed want to contribute towards making the state work and therefore apply to make such a contribution. And they are not necessarily deployed by political parties. So we must just distinguish and also in the same breath say that the wrongs that are happening are not necessarily limited to those that are deployed. Yes, the risk may be there, but it includes everyone that is employed within the state. So let's draw the distinction and also not generalize too much, but indeed wrongs can happen on both ends and not necessarily limited to deployment. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, essential to make that kind of distinction. And when you talk about, this opening the door to professionalizing local government, Lance, who are these people that would come into these positions outside of cadre deployment?
So Michelle, I think as South Africans, all of us must really think hard about the contributions we would want to make in improving the state itself and the state executing its mandate. And therefore, everyone should be able to want to raise their hands. However, what we are saying, we must get appropriately skilled, qualified, and experienced people to take up positions in our municipalities. I think once we get over that particular threshold, we will make a serious advances towards really improving service delivery and also get people with the right attitude, people who want to make a contribution, people who want to be positive, and ultimately ensure that they themselves as residents would benefit from the services that are rendered by municipalities. So really want to attract everyone, all and sundry, to really take up positions and move forward our municipalities.
Yeah, absolutely. Lance Joel, let me thank you for your time this morning. The Chief of Operations at the SA Local Government Association at SELGA, Lance Joel. Thanks very much indeed.